here to film a video, and I just saw the whole gang in their 50th anniversary clothes for the first time. Hey everybody, it's Quincy from AllEars, and I am here at the Magic Kingdom with a brand new video. I'm doing a full tour of Liberty Square today. We're going to check out everything that you need to know to have the best time in this Magic Kingdom land, from the rides to the food to the theming to those little hidden details. I'm really excited. I'm ready to get my America on. I hope you are too. So let's get going. All right. So Liberty Square, you can find it right off of the hub of Magic Kingdom to the left, past Adventureland. It is themed to, well, America, but more colonial times America. It's a very historical land, something that Walt Disney was quite passionate about. Liberty Square. Beyond this gateway lies a humble village built on hope and courage. The hope to be heard and the courage to listen and welcome new ideas. Why am I doing a British accent when this is an America land? Liberty Square is certainly not one of the more fashionable lands in Magic Kingdom, but it does have some of the most amazing and intricate details. Like, for instance, right before you enter, you'll find this gatehouse, which, if you look inside, has a ledger and all sorts of horse accoutrements. Molly would like that. She rides horses. But let's head on into Liberty Square and see what there is to see. First things first, ducks. Hi, little buddy. He's preening. I'll leave him be. As you can see, the theming is very heavy here in Liberty Square. It is themed around 18th century America. So you're going to see a lot of historical elements, a lot of colonial elements as well. I really love this land. It's one of my favorites. I think that it's kind of nice that it's a little underrated. Now, Liberty Square is not the biggest land in Magic Kingdom, but there's still a lot to see today during our tour. Still, there's one place that I want to start when I'm in Liberty Square, and that's at an opening day attraction here in the Magic Kingdom, a Haunted Mansion. Perhaps the most famous detail in Liberty Square is this strip of brown pavement that runs through the whole land. You've got that red Magic Kingdom-y pavement, and then just like a river, almost, you might say. And that's because that brown is supposed to represent the rivers of waste that used to flow through the streets in colonial America because they didn't have indoor plumbing. So a little bit of a gross detail, but a popular one nonetheless. Haunted Mansion is a historic and extremely popular attraction. It is an omni-mover through a haunted house filled with 999 ghosts, but you know what? They've got room for one more if you're looking for a new place. It is an opening day attraction with no height requirement, and it's about a 7.5 minute duration, so it's a pretty lengthy, slow ride. Now, this ride does have high capacity, but you can also see that it has pretty high demand. Right now there is a 70-minute wait for Haunted Mansion, and the wait times have been high since Disney World's 50th anniversary, just because this is such a historic attraction. Now, wait times do tend to fluctuate for this ride, and if you ride it a little bit later in the day, you should be able to catch it for 30 minutes or under. I don't really advise to wait more than an hour for this ride, just because it typically will get a little bit shorter the longer you wait. But if it's a must-do for you and you don't see that wait time going down, don't be afraid to hop in that line. Now, towards the end of the queue, there is an interactive portion, which is a lot of fun. There's actually a murder mystery in that queue, and I love a murder mystery, so that's probably my favorite part. Once you're on the ride, you do travel through the stretching room, the library, hallways, music room, the ballroom, the backyard, and a whole lot more. Just beware of those hitchhiking ghosts following you home, and also if you don't want to be that 1,000th haunt. This attraction does have a ride photo, which you'll find when you're going down the hallway with all of the portraits. Take a look at the woman who's turning into a tiger. She is an easy way to check out where that ride photo is going to be. And I think it's hidden in a lightning flash, if I remember correctly. Now, typically the landscaping around Magic Kingdom is immaculate, but if you get up around Haunted Mansion, things look a little bit overgrown and sometimes even dead. And that's all part of the theming at this haunted house. Some hidden details to look for include the old woman who's in the rocking chair in the ballroom. That's actually the same grandma from Carousel of Progress. And as you're exiting, take a look here at this pet cemetery, and you'll notice a certain fellow in the back there. Yeah, that's Mr. Toad. Say hi to him for Duckfist. Haunted Mansion will be featured as a part of Disney Genie Plus, so if you purchase that offering when it launches, which it will have by the time this video comes out, the Lightning Lane will be available here at Haunted Mansion. But enough about Haunted Mansion itself. As that one is a superior ride, we're gonna head to a superior shop at Memento Mori. Ooh, ghosts. Memento Mori is Haunted Mansion's retail location, and it is the spot if you're looking for Haunted Mansion merchandise. And those should stick around, so if you're here a little bit later, don't worry too much. A lot of this merchandise will still be around. If you're a Haunted Mansion fan, Memento Mori is a must-stop. There are Haunted Mansion puzzles and games. There's even Haunted Mansion pet harnesses. As always, when you're in Disney gift shops, look up. There's usually some really awesome theming around the ceilings. And here there's lots of spooky jars, candles, and cauldrons and things like that. Very spooky. And the best detail in here is probably this portrait of Madame Leota while she was alive. Very spooky. If you hang out a little while, this portrait might even have some metaphysical happenings. Ooh. You also might be able to check out your own appearance, but just be warned, a ghost might also check out your appearance. Look right back at you. Haunted Mansion and Memento Mori are both favorite spots of mine in Magic Kingdom, so definitely no better place than here to start our Liberty Square tour. Liberty Square also does have one achievement in the Play Disney Parks app, which is the fun gamification of the theme parks. It is here. If you ride Haunted Mansion, you can get an achievement for riding it. No trivia, unfortunately, and no queue games like there are elsewhere, but you can get that Haunted Mansion achievement, so don't miss out on that. Just across the way is our lunch spot, Columbia Harbour House. This is one of my two favorite quick service locations in all of Magic Kingdom. It's this and Casey's Corner. There are some lighter eats here, a lot of great seafood, and I'm definitely feeling hungry for lunch, so I think we'll at least go ahead and put in our mobile order, and then maybe go check out some other things while we wait. So the way mobile order works is that you head into your My Disney Experience app, you hit that little plus on the bottom, and then you tap Order Food. From there, you'll get this Restaurants Near Me screen if you have location services turned on. We are getting lunch at Columbia Harbour House. It's currently 1 p.m. and the first window is 1:25, which is pretty typical of what you'll see around peak meal times. We also might have a bit more of a wait once that window does open, but that's okay because we're exploring Liberty Square. Let's see, what do we want to get? I feel like we should get some fish, huh? All of this sounds good. I'm gonna get the trio platter. I feel like that way I get to try the most things. French fries sounds good. And of course, you can get a free water or you can grab a bottled water depending on your preference. If you're getting a free water, you can just ask for it up at the front when you grab your food. Once you're done, you can finalize your order details, and then your order will be submitted for when that window does open. If you don't want to be stuck waiting, I do recommend mobile ordering in advance. In fact, when I'm doing a full day in Magic Kingdom, I typically mobile order my lunch first thing when I arrive. That way I know for a fact that I'm going to get that lunchtime window of 12 or 1-ish and not have to wait too long for my food when I'm ready for it. And you can always change your arrival window if you're not happy with the one you chose. Let's look around a little bit more while we wait for that window to open in about 20 minutes. Keep in mind that when that Haunted Mansion line is long, Liberty Square can get a little bit congested. Something you'll find in Liberty Square, though, is the Liberty Eagle Counting House, which is a spot where you can learn about Disney's Visa cards from Chase. They also have a pressed souvenir penny machine there. And just across the way here is the Liberty Square Market. Liberty Square Market is a grab-and-go location. They have a lot of fresh fruits, packaged chips, veggies, and then theme park staples like hot dogs, Mickey pretzels, and turkey legs, which is all I can smell over here. While we're over here, you might notice some numbers on the buildings, and those are more than just the addresses of the buildings. They're also supposed to represent the year that the building's architecture represents. So this one is supposed to be 1826, and this one is supposed to be 1824. So if you just add an 18 in front of any of the building numbers in Liberty Square, you'll get a sense of when that building is supposed to represent. This one is also home to this very scary doll, which I think is probably a ghost doll. I think it's a real doll, but I think it's haunted. I do love Liberty Square, but not enough to eat a turkey leg, and that's okay. I do not like turkey legs. Liberty Square Market is completely open air and has a lot of table seating out here, most of which have umbrellas on top, but it does tend to be pretty full just because it's a prime location. Like I can see a table open right there, so it's not too full. Actually, I can see a few tables open. So our order window actually works out perfectly for us to check out another attraction here in Liberty Square, the Hall of Presidents. a celebration of Liberty's leaders, which is an absolutely historic attraction. This is another opening day attraction, and it is a 25-minute show, runs continuously all day. Hall of Presidents gives you the opportunity to see every single American president from the past and the present come to life in front of you in animatronic form. It is jaw-dropping as an animatronics nerd, it's jaw-dropping as a history nerd, and in my opinion, it might be one of the neatest way that we keep track of American history in the whole country. This attraction was thought up by Walt Disney himself, so even beyond being a historic attraction from an American history sense, it's pretty historic from a Disney sense as well. This is Thomas Jefferson's actual pocket watch. As you can see, the lobby is full of actual presidential artifacts. This is one of Teddy Roosevelt's saddle and hat. That's Abraham Lincoln's portable writing desk. It looks like the Haunted Mansion wallpaper almost. And they do have artifacts from Bill Clinton's running sneakers all the way back to George Washington's knee and shoe buckle, which is pretty insane. This show might not be a must-do for every family, but it is a must-do for history buffs and animatronic nerds like me. And you'll hear speeches from both George Washington and the current president, whoever is sitting at the time that you go to this attraction. Disney legend Blaine Gibson was primarily responsible for sculpting the presidents that you see on stage today. He even came out of retirement to sculpt Presidents Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. He also created the very famous bronze statue of Mickey and Walt, the partner statue that you see right in front of Cinderella Castle. So I just talked to a cast member who told me that there are only 3 Great Seals of the United States in existence anywhere, one of which is right in front of me, one is at the Capitol building, and one used to be on display at Independence Hall, but was recently removed back to the National Archives. So this is an amazing and very rare experience to get to stand by this seal. You can only do it in the Capitol or here. I haven't seen this show in a very long time, and it's a total favorite of mine. So if you are into history or robots, this is a really cool place to head. Perfect time for me to head to lunch. As you can probably tell by the theming outside the restaurant, Columbia Harbor House is a New England-inspired surf and turf quick service. So lots of fish. They actually have amazing salads, but I'm getting fried fish today because that's America. If you do need to pay with cash, you can order inside, but mobile order is heavily encouraged. In fact, you have to wait outside if your mobile order isn't ready yet, but mine is, so we're gonna head on in. The name of the game here are things like fish and chicken sandwiches and salads and things like that. They also have a few specialty items here for Disney World's 50th anniversary, and most of them are Haunted Mansion themed. Columbia Harbor House is also a large restaurant. There's a lot of seating spread out in the various rooms. I usually like to check upstairs just because it tends to be a little bit quieter. There are a lot of people headed upstairs right now, but it's a big space. I see lots of tables available up here. It's not as loud, it's air conditioned. Part of the reason why I like Columbia Harbor House so much is because it is easy to find a table. All right, I got a trio platter because you can kind of sample a little bit of everything with this. It comes with french fries, hush puppies, fried fish, and chicken tenders. And I think there's fried shrimp in here. There it is. You do get your choice of side. I went with french fries because I think that's what most people would want to get, but you can also get green beans or rice, or this comes with hush puppies, but you can get hush puppies as a side too if you're just a hush puppy fiend. They also gave me some cocktail sauce, but there are condiment stations throughout the restaurant. Welcome to said condiment station. I am a tartar sauce fiend, team tartar sauce. So that's what I'm gonna grab most of. I eat pretty much everything on this tray with tartar sauce. I'm gonna start with the fried shrimp dunked in some cocktail sauce. They do a really heavy batter on the fish, shrimp, everything here. Makes it super crispy, super crunchy, super good. It's very hot. I love fried shrimp. It's one of my favorite foods when I was a little kid, so I definitely like it now. And surprisingly for cocktail, I don't know if I've ever had Kent's cocktail sauce, but I can taste a little bit of horseradish flavor. I like really aggressive horseradish flavor, so it's not quite enough for me, but it'll do. I pre-prepped with tartar sauce. Same batter, so super crispy, crunchy. Doesn't have an overly fishy taste, but it's not like fish sticks flavor either. It's a very nice balanced fish flavor. Honestly, great way to fuel myself up with some protein for a theme park day without it being too heavy, even if it is battered and fried. So good. These look like classic Disney fries to me, but I did put cocktail sauce on them, so that's a twist. Pretty classic. Are they amazing? Are they McDonald's level? No. They're super thin, super salty, crunchy. There's so many different things to try in this platter. I'm on to the hush puppy. First of all, there's a whole corn kernel in there. That's a very good thing. I was born and raised in the South, so I'm a hush puppy snob. These are good. They're super dense. They have whole corn kernels in them. They have just the right amount of sweetness. They're not too sweet. They're awesome. I had some with tartar sauce and then some without. Both amazing. I am very pleased. Honestly, now I wish I would have gotten hush puppies as a side. Last but certainly not least, the chicken tender. Classic Disney tender. White meat chicken, crispy outer covering. No flavors that are so aggressive. Perfect for a picky eater. I don't get chicken tenders in Disney a lot because they are a little basic, but I love a good Disney chicken tender. So this meal is really awesome for me because I'm getting some more options. I'm getting my fish, I'm getting my hush puppies, but I also get a nice classic chicken tender. So listen, I'm a happy camper. I would most certainly recommend Columbia Harbor House. It has a lot wider of a variety than Casey's, which is my other favorite Magic Kingdom quick service. It has a lot more seating and a lot more indoor seating at that. So I really love an experience here. It's definitely a great way to take a breather, have some nice lunch in the Magic Kingdom. All right, that was a delicious and very relaxing lunch. And now we've got a lot more Liberty Square to see. One thing to note is you won't typically see characters out and about in Liberty Square. However, the cavalcade does travel through this area, so you might catch some characters traveling through. And it used to be that the Muppets even appeared here above Hall of Presidents. Unfortunately, those guys aren't around regularly anymore. All right, so as we continue on, there's a quick note. There is a ticketing office here in Liberty Square. It is closed right now. You can visit Town Square and the front of the park for ticketing, but there's this really cute sign outside with a flyer that says to stand tall for the Sons of Liberty and to meet under the Liberty Tree at, what is that? 4 o'clock to oppose the machinations of tyranny. When this ticketing office is open, though, it can be a great spot to check in with ticket information, disability information, dining reservations, lost and found, accessibility, your park reservations. If you have any questions, it's a great place to stop. Another thing you might notice as you're walking around Liberty Square is that many of the shutters on the buildings are sagging. And that's because the way they built shutters with wood back in the colonial times, the shutters did tend to sag. Now, these shutters are made with metal. They are just sagging for aesthetic purposes, but still a really cool, fun detail. There's a lot of historical details like that in this land. Liberty Square also has one of these hand-painted parasol carts where you can buy mini parasols, full-size parasols, and they are hand-painted by an artist right here in Liberty Square. She's working on a personalized Mickey balloon one right now. These are a super unique souvenir, so if you know someone who might like a parasol or something a little more personalized, definitely stop by Liberty Square. You can also find personalized parasols in Epcot, but this is the location for them in Magic Kingdom. Oh, look how different the 1810 building looks. You can really tell that one's supposed to be older. Next up, we have Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. This spot is a quick service snack cart, and they do actually have mobile order that was recently added this year. And they serve up a lot of like theme park favorites, but with a twist. So Sleepy Hollow Refreshments has some basics like the hand-dipped corn dog, a sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich, and funnel cakes with powdered sugar and strawberries. They sometimes have Mickey waffles here, giant Mickey waffles. And in the morning here, you can get a fruit and Nutella waffle, which is a great way to start the day, if a little sweet. All right, we're crossing the Waste River to the Liberty Square Portrait Gallery. So you may have seen the silhouette artist on Main Street USA. This is one of my favorite souvenirs that you can get in Disney World. They are fairly inexpensive. It's $10 for a personalized silhouette of you, which is so cool. And I have one, and I think it's the sweetest thing ever. There is no artist working today, but keep an eye out for that. And check Main Street if there's no artist here in Liberty Square, and that's something you'd want to do. There's also caricature artists and portrait artists who work right here on this little awning off to the side. So if that's a souvenir you'd like, I know that I have friends who have had the portraits done before and they consider it one of their favorite souvenirs from anywhere ever, not just Disney World. So it's a really cool way to commemorate your trip. Before we head into our next stop, which is the Old Christmas Shop, or Shoppe, as Bree, Love, and Molly like to call it, I wanted to point out this fun Easter egg. You've got music and voice lessons by appointment only with Ichabod Crane as the instructor. So Ichabod apparently did not disappear when he stood up against the Headless Horseman in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and he apparently is giving voice lessons here in Liberty Square. Either that or no one has taken the sign down yet. The Old Christmas Shop is a year-round Christmas shop. There's this adorable sleigh photo op. There are amazing ornaments and all sorts of things in here. So this is really cool that if maybe getting an ornament is your Disney World tradition, you can pop into the Christmas shop no matter what time of year you come and grab an ornament to commemorate your trip. You can even get some ornaments personalized. I have a lot of Disney ornaments, my family does, on our Christmas tree. It's just a really fun way to remember the times that you've gone to Disney World in the past. So I do love that this shop is here year-round. And you can always check in here if you're wondering how many days are left till Christmas. 75. And one end of the Old Christmas Shop pops right out at this very impressive tree with lanterns hanging from it. And this is actually the Liberty Tree. The Liberty Tree is a 135-plus-year-old live oak tree that was actually relocated here to the Magic Kingdom from its old location. The oak used to be located on the eastern part of Disney property, and they moved it about 8 miles. You can see that it has 13 lanterns hanging from its boughs, and those represent the 13 original colonies of America. It's also, as you can tell from that sign we saw earlier, known as the meeting spot for the Sons of Liberty. This guy seems to be enjoying the history, or looking for lunch. When it was moved, the tree weighed 35 tons and has grown more since then. And it's said to have fathered like 500 trees from its acorns. So this is a very impressive, talk about history. And just nearby, you'll find a staple of Liberty Square, which is the Liberty Bell. So this bell was actually cast specifically for Disney World, and it was placed here in 1989. It's super cool. It's a close to replica of the Liberty Bell itself. This area also has the flags of the 13 original colonies. Let me see if I can find the one from the state that I'm from. I think I see it over there. I am originally from North Carolina, and its flag is represented here. As a kid, I always super enjoyed these stocks here in Liberty Square. They're a very fun, very unique photo op. They make me think of like Old Salem and things like that. And looks like I'm not the only one. Lots of people are taking photos in them. In fact, one of my favorite pictures of Molly is her wearing a hat that she made while sitting in those Liberty Square stocks. As we go to check out that final dining destination here in Liberty Square, we've got the River of Waste. We talked about it earlier. It's gross. But what's even cooler is that Liberty Square is rumored to not have any bathrooms actually inside of it. Now, I know what you're thinking. The restaurants have to have bathrooms, don't they? And they do. All the restaurants in Liberty Square, the indoor restaurants, do have bathrooms. So Columbia Harbour House and Liberty Tree Tavern each have bathrooms. But it's rumored that the bathrooms are far enough back to technically be classified as being located in different lands. Apparently, the Columbia Harbour House bathrooms are far enough back to be in Fantasyland technically. And apparently, the Liberty Tree Tavern bathrooms are located far enough back to be in Frontierland. So, interesting fact, there are technically no bathrooms in Liberty Square. Speaking of Liberty Tree Tavern, this is actually a table service restaurant located here. It is all you care to enjoy and family style. As you can probably tell, it is themed after an late 18th century home. And the restaurant is divided into a couple of different rooms that are decorated to reflect famous names from the United States Revolutionary period. You'll spot rooms themed around Benjamin Franklin, Betsy Ross, George Washington, and Thomas Jefferson, which is super cool. If you're curious about what room you're dining in, you can check out some decorations on the wall for a few hints, or just ask the cast member who's serving you. And menu-wise, this spot is Thanksgiving all year, with amazing ooey gooey toffee cake to wrap up your meal, roast turkey breast, pot roast, carved pork, and a lot of traditional accompaniments. I love Thanksgiving food. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because I like coming together with my family and eating, so I do love Liberty Tree Tavern. Molly's not a Thanksgiving food eater, but I actually think she enjoys this restaurant too, just because it has a really good quality of food. So it's certainly a longer time commitment as meals go in Magic Kingdom, and it might not be as flashy as things like Be Our Guest or Cinderella's Royal Table, but if you're looking for good food and a lot of it, Liberty Tree Tavern could be a good option. All right, we have one more stop here at our Liberty Square tour, and it's actually the spot that I'm most excited about. Liberty Square is also home to the Liberty Belle Riverboat. So this is a riverboat ride that gives you some rare views of Magic Kingdom from some different angles, and it's actually an authentic steam-powered sternwheeler. So a very historic boat, a very cool boat, and I'm really excited to take a cruise around. You know I love a boat. The ride is typically 17 to 20 minutes long, and it's great for a relaxing break. You just have to wait for when the riverboat comes back around. There's not typically a line. It departs every half hour, on the hour and the half hour. This boat also has a super cool refurbishment process. They refurbished it earlier this year, I think, maybe last year, and they had to take it out of the Magic Kingdom canals, which was such a cool thing. The video of it was like people guiding it in the middle of the night out into World Showcase, out into Seven Seas Lagoon was so neat. So I don't know, I nerd out about a riverboat every once in a while. It's not just robots. I might venture so far as to say that the Liberty Belle is the most beautiful boat in Disney World. Look at her. What a beaut. Is the Liberty Belle a must-do on your Magic Kingdom day? Most likely, no. It's a big time suck. It's not the most exciting, and you've probably been on a boat before, but it is a delightful ride. Worth doing if you have the time or just need a little bit of a break, especially for those Magic Kingdom views. It does take a little while for the boat to depart just as they get everything ready for it to move around its course, but I'm excited. Tour place that happens, and there's also this sweet indoor cabin too. It's a pretty busy day in Magic Kingdom today. It is a national holiday. It's National Indigenous Peoples Day, and so it's busy in the park. And I will say I haven't had a lot of time or elbow room when I've been exploring Liberty Square today. I have so much elbow room on this boat. There is no one near me for there's the furthest people are on this the bow and the stern of the boat, and I'm just hanging out. It's very relaxing. I haven't been to Tom Sawyer Island in a long time. I'm gonna have to go exploring when I do my Frontierland tour. Bet you haven't seen Haunted Mansion from this angle in a while, huh? There are even some things you can only see from the Liberty Belle Riverboat. Like this fiery little cabin here, or these supplies on the backside of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I want this guy's life. I want to sit in a rocking chair. Well, maybe I don't want to sit in a rocking chair in Alligator Swamp, but I do want to sit in a rocking chair and watch the Liberty Belle float by me and listen to banjo music. Oh, there's a real turtle. Florida wildlife. He's so cute, he's swimming. Alright, and that just about does it for my tour of Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square land. I had a super fun time today. What a unique land with so much history and so many details. And I had an amazing lunch, and we saw some amazing rides, and I'm on a boat. This has just been a great day. If you need me, I'll be right here. But in the meantime, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what land you want to see me do next. It does not have to be in Magic Kingdom. You can follow us on social media at AllEars.net. And until next time, I'm Quincy, and I'll see you then. Bye! Want more AllEars videos? Click here. And want to subscribe? You can do that right here. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you real soon.